What's up guys, I am Kate with TypeMatch, and if you're watching this channel and this video, it probably means that you are pretty into MBTI and maybe even obsessed with MBTI. So you're probably looking around and trying to piece together, or you're noticing that there are certain people who are really into it like you, and then there's a lot of people who just kind of like dismiss it, or they're like, they'll entertain you for a little while, but they're not really interested. And you're trying to piece together like, what is it about all of these people that they're not interested in this amazing thing that me and this one other person can see is really valuable. And one of the biggest misunderstandings that I'm seeing around this is taking an interest in MBTI as indicative of trait like intuition, as being an intuitive. And all these other people that don't like it, they are a bunch of normie censors. Well, I want to dispel this myth. And yeah, I might be wrong, but here is what I think about this. I think that it really has nothing to do with your MBTI type, like whether you are interested in typology or not. I think it has to do with a variety of other factors, a couple of which I will show you back here. But I want to dispel this myth because I think that it's not about whether you are interested in MBTI, it's how you understand it and how you process your understanding of MBTI in your mind. So for me and for a lot of other people in the community, we like MBTI because it's a way to understand what something is, what we are. It's a way to put a name to what we're already noticing in reality, SE. And then because we understand like what it is, we can know better what to do with it and how to move forward in the future with it. Okay, so I'm seeing a ton of SP types that absolutely love MBTI, but they're all like almost all, mistyped as intuitives because they are high in trait openness from the big five, which is often conflated with intuition in typology. Notice I'm calling it typology instead of MBTI here. Let's just try to like move towards that word instead. Anyway, so that is why I find it useful and how I understand it. I think we all find like great utility for it in our lives, but I wanted to ask an intuitive. I asked my friend Kay with my type about how she uses, understands, likes MBTI, and she said, I have it written down there, wrapping concepts around strategic aim in order to get a solution. And I absolutely love that. I said, this is a fantastic quote because I just barely understand what you mean by that. I said, this sounds like something that would go in a PowerPoint presentation that you are presenting to your corporate client, which she does. So it's completely understandable that she would use that kind of language there. But it's also like, notice the abstract language that she's using, wrapping concepts around strategic aim. And I use very concrete language. And I want to know like, well, what do you mean by that? Like, I get it, but like, how exactly do you do that? Can you give me an example, a concrete example? So it's just a different way of understanding MBTI and maybe utilizing it in your life. So what does account for why we are interested or drawn to MBTI? Let's go to the board. Or maybe I will go to the board. Okay, so I think it is influenced by several different factors, but I've only outlined two here. So if you've gotten this far and you're into MBTI, you've probably heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you haven't, go check it out, okay? But basically we have a pyramid of needs, and they are each level, you're moving up, and it's dependent on having the lower levels met in order to, transcend to the higher levels of needs. For example, if you are not having your basic physiological needs met, like, food, water, shelter, you're just trying to survive, then you're not thinking about like self-actualization and transcendence at the moment, okay? You need all of this met before you can get up to like, well, what do I do now? All right, so I don't think that MBTI is falling under that, the highest level. I think that's way too optimistic. I think where it's really falling for most people is in the level of belongingness. And that's why so many people come to it at a younger age. We don't see a lot of 70-year-olds getting into MBTI, although they might have already been into it from a younger age. But it's more around like the teens, 20 years, where we are trying to discover who we are, who other people are, and how we fit into the tribe, okay? If we are an expert at understanding who we are and what is important about us and articulating that to the tribe, okay, and feeling that that is completely accepted by them, then we really don't have much use for MBTI. But most of us aren't very good about that. We don't even completely understand who we are and what is important about us. So like maybe you feel it, but you can't properly articulate it, and MBTI gives you a system of doing so simply and in an expedient manner. So it's really fulfilling the need of belongingness. I saw a lot of people in the MBTI community who just, in the beginning when I was entering, they like seemed sort of lost. And it's not that they still don't seem lost. There's a lot of lost people out there. But they just, I see a lot of loneliness within the MBTI community and wanting to be understood and accepted, which is why when I first got into MBTI and I entered the community, I got the idea to create the TypeMatch app, because I saw this, loneliness and all these people who were very open and wanting to articulate who they are. And I wanted to create a way to connect them. So I made the TypeMatch app. And all right, now let's do a plug for that, I guess. And it's available on iOS and Android, and you can meet friends and create relationships there with like-minded people who are searching just like you. So I think it fits in there as far as Maslow's hierarchy, but something also extremely important is when we're talking about the Big Five, also called the OCEAN, which is an acronym for openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. That interest lies within trait openness. So like I said, high trait openness is often confused for high trait intuition in typology. So I mean, I don't really have to explain what openness is. And like everyday vocab, it's like being open-minded to different types of ideas, okay? So what you're seeing in others who aren't interested in MBTI is not that they are censors. It's that they might be a lower in trait openness. Jordan Peterson talks about in one of his it wasn't recent, like I just saw it, so it's recent to me. One of his lectures, I like, if you like my lectures and you're watching these, you're probably high in trait openness, because these are the types of people who are searching out these types of ideas and lectures. So these are also the types of people who are kind of like interested in like personality psychology and these types of things. So I've seen a lot of people, I've seen SE, sorry. But people have approached me and said like, Kate, you can't be a censor because you're interested in theories like MBTI. And it's so frustrating to me. And I think that idea is causing a ton of mistyping within the community. Like, I am interested in this theory, but I'm approaching it from a concrete perspective. And why I'm interested in it has to do with like, the need for belongingness, which like freaking awesome that it's been like partially fulfilled by like meeting people through the TypeMatch community and everything. And then trait openness. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.